kids, comics. Silver-haired Bronze Age babe here, yakking about her comic book collection. And today, as you can probably tell from the books I have scattered here at the Fortress of Solitude, I want to talk about the Doom Patrol. I did a video a few months back about my absolute joy at discovering the Silver Age Doom Patrol. I had mentioned that I had been spending more money than I probably should on some of those books, and so the covers are just so amazingly Silver Age. It's just, I don't know, just DC superhero, late Silver Age stuff at its absolute finest. I have enjoyed this to no end. I wasn't able to afford, or decided not to afford, to buy the early issues of this, so I did buy one of those paperback omnibus of them so I could get the stories. And the stories in that are great, and the good thing about the Doom Patrol is, you basically get the gist, so it's not one overarching story. So when I was able to land in the stories where I could afford the books, I'll tell you, I've just been having a ball. This is really, I am so glad to have discovered this and added it to the collection because it's just great. Now what I want to talk about is how this title came to an end. This book is from, she said checking the date, 1968. And you can tell that, is this the end, the beginning of the end of the Doom Patrol? And then you decide. First of all, that art, thank you very much. How can you leave that? I could never leave that on the spinner rack if I had seen that back in the day. And the book, the splash page, is really great because it gives you artist rendering of the artist and the editor, basically saying, here's what's going to happen. We really are going to kill these people if you guys don't do something about it. And they give a little background information on the first page about who they are and why they came to be. Just metal man with a brain, giant growing girl, and a radioactive guy, along with their mentor who is wheelchair bound. And then this, I'm not going to go through the story, but I really enjoy, one of the reasons I love this title so much is that this gal is a villain, and she is French, and she says, "There it is, the headquarters of the Brotherhood of Evil." I mean, her name is Madame Rouge. So she's at play here and trying to get rid of the Doom Patrol and all of this kind of stuff. So again, I'm not going to ruin the story for you in case you dig it up and want to find it. But suffice to say, our heroes have been gathered at a remote island, and a choice is upon them. Stay here, protect others, and die yourselves, or just leave. And so I think it's their wheelchair-bound mentor is there. You heard him. 14 ordinary men, strangers to us. Well, my comrades, you must decide. Strangers, Chief? Didn't you teach us? I'm sorry. All men are our brothers. The pilgrims, they were just ordinary men too, not a genius among them. And the Hebrew children who wouldn't bow to the Pharaoh, just ordinary shepherds and farmers. Here's our answer, Captain. Fire away. And there's that last panel of the Doom Patrol making their own choice. And the island blows up. They save all these strangers to them, and they perish in that blast. At the end of the book, you do get, again, we return to the artist and editor, and it's interesting to me that the writer isn't included in that, because that's a shame, because the writer of this is really the superstar. But in any event, basically they're saying only you can bring them back, and then they, to add more to it, there's this lengthy write up in the letters column saying basically if we get sales of this particular book back up, we'll bring them back. But it obviously didn't work because I think the Doom Patrol wasn't seen again until 20 years later or something. So anyway, this just, I hadn't heard of the Doom Patrol really, and to dive into these books has been so fantastic, and it just really warms my heart that they ended it, and they ended it absolutely beautifully. So here's to you, Doom Patrol. Thank you so much. And thank all of you for tuning in. I'll see you next time.